What's going on, everybody? My name's Crypto Corey. I love all things crypto, and today we've got another Veve and Ecomi video coming at you. So right now I'm waking up nice and early in the morning, and I am heading out to my dirt bike track. We just cut about 2 to 3 brand new miles of trail in a new section of woods. And this is just a discussion video. I wanted to talk about how we can just think about what we're doing when we invest our money into Veve and to the OMI token. I'm seeing a lot of FUD, being brought up about the OMI token. The OMI token has been going down. We're not like crashing down to nothing, but it is definitely down to a really low level, which you've got two different camps of people. You've got the bears, which are like, oh, this is all done, it's all over now, and you should get out of the project. And then you've got the bulls, which are just saying this is the cheapest the prices have been, this is the best opportunity to buy. If you don't buy now, you might miss out, and whenever the price goes up, you're going to be a sore loser. So what do I think? This is what I personally think. I've been waiting on the OMI token. When I first got into Veve, it would have been a prime buy. That would have been the beginning of August of last year, and that if I would have bought at that time frame and then sold during decon at the Disney drop, I would have made an exponential amount of money. But I bought collectibles instead, and those collectibles went up to a ton of money also. So like when I look about how much money I've invested into the collectibles versus how much I could have invested into the OMI token, I've actually done about similar of what it should have been from the bottom to the peak. So I was able to turn a few $1,000s into well over 25,000, but now it's settled down. Now I'm not sitting bad. I'm sitting great on my investment of just a few $1,000s. I'm sitting just above $11,000 to $12,000. I'll have to go check. It fluctuates here and there, but on a few $1,000s, if you're making $3,000, if you invest $2,000 and 6 months later you have $3,000, like after cash out, like after if you third party sell or something, you would look at that and you would say, wow, this was a great investment. But that doesn't seem to be the case with Veve. What I see is people were riding this wave, thinking that they were going to get rich quick, and Veve's having normal difficulties getting one country to do the MTL, which they were never planning on doing in the first place. And people are just antsy, and whenever their collectibles spiked and they saw the prices and then it dropped by 50%, everyone freaked out and they couldn't take their money out, so they started getting angry and they start third-party selling, and that's shark infested waters. So there's two issues here, and I don't want to be the fanboy camp of saying that Veve's perfect and it's the best thing ever. And I'm also not on the FUD side where people are like, oh, well, they've been promising soon, #soon, and honestly, that's probably a pretty cool shirt if someone did just soon in the Veve letters. But it's just one of those things. Why did you invest into Veve? Did you invest into Veve to be a collector, to get some awesome collectibles and to maybe gain some money? Or did you get into Veve thinking this was going to be the Bored Ape Yacht Club? We were going to buy at the drop price, and then it's going to skyrocket, and everything's worth $1 million, and we're going to be rich. That's not necessarily what's going to happen. The Bored Ape Yacht Club is a rare thing, and it's one of the early things. It's just how it functions, how it works, and it doesn't mean it's going to last forever. It doesn't mean it's going to. Veve could easily just topple it. We just don't know what's going to happen whenever the collectible OMI bridge is finalized, because that's all I'm really. The MTL, I don't really know what the fees are going to be for doing it through the blockchain, but I would rather do things through the blockchain personally. I know I am coming from a crypto side, and what I'm personally thinking is if I can get some of these profits dialed in on Ethereum, or dialed in on IMX, or dialed in on OMI, or whatever at the moment I'm just personally liking to sell my collectibles for, and Some things might be as easy as you do it for Immutable X, you sell it for IMX, and then you pay the gas fees later at some later date. And if IMX has been going up, and then when the gas is just cheap, you switch it over to Ethereum. Then you've been stacking on your long-term investment of Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardano. That's at XRP and Solana, like the big dogs that everyone's thinking these are the ones that solve all the various problems of the blockchain world, or the real world with blockchain. But if you were going to ask me what am I doing? Am I buying OMI? Am I going to buy OMI? I'm looking at buying OMI. You got to understand, we'll be using OMI. We'll be burning OMI. I'll be selling these collectibles in the future for probably OMI. I'll probably be using OMI in and out of the app in a generalized sense. So if you're asking me if I'm going to be using OMI, the answer is yes. But if you're asking me if I'm putting a sizable percentage, if you're asking me if I'm putting a sizable percentage of my income into the OMI token, the answer is no. And it's not because I don't think the OMI token is good or anything like that. It's, I'm here to make good, safe investments, and OMI would be considered to be a small cap, high risk, high reward investment. You can only do so many of those in your portfolio safely, and then you really need to have a large stack of coins that are more stable. By stable, I just mean have the history, have a direction, have a purpose, a use case. I'm not talking about Shiba Inu or Dogecoin. I'm talking about Bitcoin. I'm talking about Ethereum. I'm talking about Cardano, XRP, Solana. Those are the things that I would be selling my small cap coins and moving the profits into those, or just that's where I want majority of my money to be, is in layer 1 protocols that solve various problems. I would probably throw Algorand in there. I'm on a small cap planets where I'm mining planet tokens, and they've taken a drop off too, like the OMI token has, and they look very similar. Just kind of makes me think, I'm riding that wave down. I in 20 days ROI'd on my investment with a miner, and I didn't sell it on the day I ROI'd, and then the market tanked. Now I haven't sold anything, but I do think that the market will recover in a general sense. And then on that project in particular, once they start selling their data, their outdoor data and their indoor data for people to use, that will be in turn brought back in to fund the project, and people's tokens will be more valuable, and there's gonna be staking opportunities. So Planets is looking really good for the future. I think just from what I'm looking at. I Bitcoin mining is getting worse and worse every day. So if you were to ask me, should I get into mining? I'm not saying you should or shouldn't get into mining, but if at this point, if you want to mine crypto, you really need to think about a large sum investment into some serious hardware, in like a warehouse style building. I wouldn't be doing it with a storage shed and computer parts that you can buy at the store at this point, for things like Bitcoin. So I'm mining it, and I'm getting about $1,000 a year according to current prices right now. Let's see what else. I've been investing into Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I stake those. I stake those on crypto.com. I get, I think it's like 4.5% and 5.5% staking rewards on them. Not the highest that I've seen, but it's a good solid place to stake your funds. Also, they do a really good stablecoin staking. If you want to do like USDC, they give you 10% on your USDC. If you have a ruby red card, that is. If you have the higher end card, the Jade card, I think you get 12% on your stable cards or stable coins, and then you get like 6.5% and 6% on Ethereum and Bitcoin. I think Polkadot's like 10%. I think they do a lot for Polkadot. And I own no DOT, and I feel like I need to own some DOT. But if you're asking me if I'm going to buy OMI, I don't know. I'm looking at OMI, I'm looking at Sandbox, I'm looking at Alluvium. These are kind of the smaller projects I'm looking at that I haven't yet invested into, and I just don't know which one I will or won't. Because here's the thing, I know I'm going to be using OMI. I know I'm going to be using Immutable X. Because I know that, I can rest assured on my long-term thoughts on OMI, and I'm not scared of OMI because I know I'll be using it. So if all of you fudding OMI and you have collectibles and you're waiting for the OMI bridge, you're going to be using OMI. So get used to it. It's just, that's the way it is. And no token's perfect right off the bat. Look at all the crap that's happened with the brand new ape coin, where it skyrocketed, it plummeted, it went back up, it's gone back down. People can't figure it out because the problem is you're not seeing what the freaking token's for. And there's future stuff that it's for that, I won't go into. I've only been doing a little bit of research on that token, but as of right now, I find it interesting, but not worth my investment. That's just how we need to think about brand new projects. And OMI, believe it or not, because they spent so much time on the collectible side, they're not a old company. They're still, in my opinion, a brand new startup company on the crypto side, and they're still working on things, and they're getting the bridges connected. And once those get connected, then I think it could be off to the races. So, and I bet you all the people who are fudding, later on, they'll see all these gains starting to happen, and they'll get in and they'll make some money because they're still technically early, because they're involved in the project, whether they think they are or not. And that's I want to just get to, I know this is a rant video today, and I like this video, so I'm absolutely posting this one. Sometimes I rant and I make like 12 videos and I don't post any. But there's a lot of people who, when the project started to do better, they're not going to be funding the project anymore, and they're going to get back involved. And they're going to shut their mouth and be quiet, like they were never doubted the project. And that's fine. I'm not hating on people who get scared and their emotions sway them, and the only reason they didn't leave the project is because they were too scared to third party, and then their collectibles are locked up. So whenever there's gonna be people who leave, there's gonna be people who don't leave. So this is an ever-changing community, and I do think this community will grow, but it's going to grow in stages. You're going to see that initial big pump, it's going to taper off, and then you're going to see it level out, and then when something new happens, boom, right back off to the races. It pumps, it drops again, and it just stair steps all the way up, and on a healthy project. And I absolutely, Ecomi is a healthy company, and Veve is a healthy project. The only thing that has happened that's not perfect is New Zealand, and this hack, which I'm not entirely sure is completely Ecomi's fault. So it's one of those things where, like, I invest in so many different areas, and I see the comments and the stuff in the socials, and they're coming from all different kinds of people. And what you need to realize is, on the crypto side of things, I've watched Cardano go from nothing to like almost $3 and then back down and nothing again, and now it's going up again. We're in a roller coaster of volatility that is the cryptocurrency markets. They're not your standard stocks and bonds and things like that. These are highly volatile areas of interest, which are growing, and some projects grow, some projects fail. OMI, they've been around for a few years. This is a crash. We just had our crash, and we're still here. There's many projects that can't say that, and there's many projects that turned out to be rug pulls. And there was all kinds of stuff that happened and since the new year, honestly. And the projects I've been involved in, some of them have stayed about the same, stagnant, like my Pluto Alliance aliens. Now the price of Ethereum's gone down, but the value of my collectible, or not my collectible, my Pluto Alliance V1 aliens, they've stayed about the same. So that doesn't really bother me much. And right now, if I put them on the market, the gas is fairly all right. So, and I'm not going to. I'm holding on to those. But, all my other projects that I got, they're doing well. I got out of NBA Top Shots. I was a little bit late, and, I don't really understand, sports cards. I'm from a DC, Marvel, Disney, Star Wars background, not a sports background. So it's really difficult for me to wrap my head around something like Recur and college sports NFTs. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying I can't get my head around them. So I just won't put my money there. And that's, you yourself should be like that. You shouldn't put your money into something you don't understand. And if you're fudding Veve, I would dare to say you don't really understand the project. Yeah, they got some bumps in the road, but what project doesn't have bumps in the road? So am I going to buy OMI? We'll see. I've got to evaluate it, and it's in a buy territory, and it is a buy for me, but now I've got to start evaluating the project and weigh it against other projects, and I'm going to put my money into whatever token I think is going to perform the best. And for these small cap investments, I want them to perform the best in a 5 to 10 year time frame. I say 5 because I do an assessment every year, and on the 5th year I assess, and if the project's gone up too fast, I would pull out. You might just be something where you might see the 5 year perform better than the 10 year. Because maybe the project tapers off and just doesn't really go anything crazy, and you can take that 5-year profits, put it into something else that will perform better. So I stage my investments on purpose, and I could return back to a project in 10 years because it all of a sudden is the next big performing thing again. And that's what I do with my small portfolios, and I'll take a lot of those profits and I'll put them into, the large cap blue chip, Bitcoin, Ethereum. And I would urge you to keep investing and reinvesting and compound build your wealth, and, find some collectibles you like and hold them forever. You know what I mean? Like, grab some stuff that's personal to you, like my C3PO, and, I'm going to hold him for, I would assume forever. I'm not saying I would never sell him, but, 20 years down the road and the project's doing well and I just like this collectible and it's still gaining in value, I might hold on to my C3PO. I want to thank you for joining me. If you made it to the end of the video, long form, if this is what you like, put it in the description that you like long form chat discussion. If you like the short form and you didn't make it to the end of the video, you're probably not going to comment. But I want to thank you for joining me. My name is Crypto Corey. Again, nothing I say is financial advice, but I will see you on the next one. Have a good day, Veve fam.